Okay, so I'm continuing on with connecting with Tylee Vallow. I'm going back to my Bianco narrow deck because it doesn't have that as high a gloss on it and won't slide off this. So, Tylee, tell us more about what you spoke about your mom in our part one video. Um, I appreciate that. I ask you to share with us anything further, and I will try to interpret what the symbols are in the cards, what you want to say. So, Tylee, I just lift up this platform to you, sweetheart, and ask if there's anything you want to share. Um, Here's your platform. Tylee Vallow. Tylee Vallow. Tylee Vallow. What would you like to share with us? The rest of the world. And we hope that you and your brother will be found soon. Tylee Vallow. Tylee, what do you want? What? Pardon the wound back and any background noise. But just a moment. I just want you to see. Oh. Okay. Sorry about that little. Ooh. Trip with the camera, but I wanted to share my bear. And this room is in a state of needing care because we're remodeling. So we have boxes everywhere. Still, remodeling during this pandemic is, and trying to look to move, it looks like it's going to happen more toward fall. We still haven't gotten the house completely finished, so. But you know what? I'm not going to fight it. There's no point. Okay, so let's go back in. Tylee. Why do I always do that? Okay, Tylee. What else do you want to share? Okay. I think I'm going to lay this out in a Celtic cross. The Wheel of Fortune, about cycles and events, actions as a result of what you put out there, things advance, progress. Nine of Cups, we're dealing with, sorry folks, just trying to make this more. There we go. Oh. So this is also time. This is cycles. And I believe that the current thing right now that is, I think, that she's showing as an obstacle just early on here, just in this reading, is pride and is the love of luxury, a certain lifestyle. But let's just keep going. Based on the moon, there's a lot of secrets, a lot of stuff prior that is shady. I think there was so much that poor girl, that Tylee has had to keep to herself growing up that way. Yeah, and here we go with the Hierophant. That really tends to be a popular card with her. Let's just lay out the base there, and then I'll let you know. Okay. And her environment is the Emperor, so I think that's her father. I think she's with her father. Again, hopes and fears is like deals with family and the well-being of family and extended family. She must have a very expansive extended family. And the Eight of Pentacles. That's interesting. Working on something. Well, I think it's also a statement that it's going to be a bit of time yet before her brothers and her remains may be found yet. Maybe she's just speaking with regard to herself, but looking at this Three of Cups, I feel like this is also a way of saying that she and JJ and Charles are together, and that they're in a safe, they feel safe, there's no suffering, they feel, perhaps also they also feel happy to be with each other, because we have that here in her recent past. And this card here, the 9, actually I'm going to look at as more, because it's connecting with strength. I feel like it is more of a pleasing card, that she's comfortable physically, well, in how she feels, spirit as a spirit, because it's 9 of Cups. It deals with water. Spirit is usually attributed, and I think that is her and her brother and her dad together, and they're managing to get through this. This is hard for them, I think, even on the other side. And again, I think it's showing that the Hierophant and the Moon, there's something yet that I think also that authorities have yet to find, which is certainly their remains. I feel like their remains are in some kind of a natural area. I keep going to that. And I think they've been moved around. I do. I don't, but that's not what I'm primarily focusing on myself. But I think she is speaking to that a little bit here. And I think that also she's cautioning it that it's going to be a bit of time, I think, quite yet before their remains are found. But with perseverance, I believe they will eventually find their remains. Yeah. She hopes, and I think she's also saying that there is hope yet for justice, and justice is needed. She is acknowledging that justice must play out its hand, and will play out its hand. And I think she knows that people feel very strongly and are very upset by what her mother has done. And I think she certainly was also. But at this point, she's wanting people to understand that justice is coming. It's just kind of slow. There is a certain, I think, what would you call that? There's a certain set of events that have to come into play, that it's important that they play out. Okay, also. And it's hard to wait during that time, but for us to know that she's with her father and her brother, and that, she's looking, I think also she's looking at, I think also the earthly remains question, and also just asking that people hold on, just hold on, um, and to have faith that, because there, it looks like to me there is something further going to occur regarding law enforcement involving their case. They are with their father. The emperor is in her environment. She feels very safe now. The Ten of Pentacles, again, her family, I think, and her hopes that evidence and these things will be of great help to complete the picture that we don't understand about what happened. There's, to me, this is saying it's going to be pieced together. It's intricate, is what I'm getting from the reading here. It's like this is a while to unpack, okay, and things need to be unpacked a certain fashion, and that I think in due, and I don't like to say due time, but I think in due time her brother's remains, I believe, will be located. Okay, so she's asking for people to be patient, to pray, to help. Definitely their prayers, I think there's an indication here that prayers are helpful. She's asking people for that, and so that justice can play out, and so this very complicated case can be unpacked. Extra cards. Yeah, there's this juggling with regard to children, the two children. I think it could be that one is in one place, one is in another place. They may not be in the same place. Yeah. But I have a feeling one will be found and then the other. I picked that up a little bit last night in my other reading. Okay? There's a lot of emotional confusion I'm being shown here. There's a lot of emotions coming out. And here, around this, especially I think with regard to the fact that more emotion will come out in people once their remains are located. I don't believe there's a bit of juggling with this, and I don't believe necessarily that they're in the same place equally. They could be, but it could have been that I believe they killed one child and then the other, and may have moved them around after both were deceased. There's something there. So it could have been that initially they weren't together and they'll be found together, or one will be found and then the other. I tend to think it's going to be one will be found and then a little while later, maybe not that long, the other. I'm just going to offer that. I could be wrong. the answer is that you know these children have unfortunately met their end, and it will there remains, I believe, there's just been going to be a delay before a successful conclusion, and especially with over where their remains are. This is a point of contention and power play for Lori and Chad. And I think it's on purpose. They're straight up evil. Um, this again, you're dealing with people with whom there is, if you try to go the logical route with them, there you'll hit a wall because they're cult-like in their thinking. So they're away with the friggin' clouds, and I believe these, unfortunately, children have been sacrificed for their fantasy. And there's a great deal of emotion going to come out. I think that might surprise some people, how they're going to just sick of this kind of crap with people. I think this is the public's response. Yeah, and I feel like these children were led to believe they were going on a trip, or led to they were going to go do something fun, led to believe. But I think that deep down inside, I think they knew, just because their mother was the way that she was. I'm really hoping that this seems like fun, but I think there was a quiet voice that said, with that dog pulling at the jacket, there was a sense of like, maybe I shouldn't go. Maybe I should try to delay this. But I think these children were told that they were going to go do something pleasant. And I think that these children actually resisted. I got this when I looked last night with JJ. I felt like he was resistant, and I think that this is now coming up with Tylee. I think saying she resisted, but there was just the struggle was over. I think that, is Chad Dable a air sign, I wonder? This is or could maybe even be Cox, Alice Cox. There, Alex or something. There's something here where she's indicating that with a King of Swords, he has a secret. He knows the secret. And I think that's Chad. No matter what his sign is. He knows the secret. And, yeah, he may reveal where their remains are. He may yet, in the future, reveal there's a male, and I can only think it would be Chad, revealing where these bodies are. And if he doesn't do that, I gotta say, they'll be found somehow. They will be found somehow. Maybe this is a man that finds them. That's possible too. Just food for thought, folks. So that wraps up for right now my coverage from the point of view from Tylee and the situation that she had to go through. I'm glad to say that she's with her father and her brother, and they are feeling safe and positive and comfortable in the world of spirit. But I think she's telling us it's going to be a while yet before their remains are found. So I leave that there with you. I hope you're having a great day. And say a prayer for these kids and for all the most vulnerable out there every day when you wake up. And give thanks, all right? And I'll stop preaching now. All right, talk to you later. Bye-bye. Never bye. It's always I'll see you later.